What's going on, Leo? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a great week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, what's up, Soul Tribe? Appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, your shares, keeping me coming back and keeping this channel growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy your higher self has brought you here. You are in for an amazing journey. Now, what I'm going to be doing this week is a tarot card reading for the week of November 13th through the 19th. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with that being said, let's jump into it. Space has been cleansed. Gem's energy is high. We're ready for this. Now, I'm going to be pulling 15 cards. They're going to be in 5 groups of 3. The middle group is going to represent the nature of your problem. The upper left and upper right hand corners are going to be some future options we're going to play around with. The bottom left is going to be some perspectives you might want to consider in relationship to the nature of the problem. And finally, the bottom right will be whatever messages your higher self would like you to know. And in case you all were curious, I'm using Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck. Oh, the imagery on these cards are super cool, so I'll make sure to show you those all throughout. And if you're wanting to get your own, I included a link in the description box below that has for this deck. So if you want one, but without further ado, higher self, what do we have in store for Leo this week? Let me get your cards pulled, and then we will get to it. Nice. Okay. Nice. Love that good old sun. I bet you do too, huh? Alrighty. Let me get these cards organized, kind of sit with them for a second, then we will get to it. Okay. Okay. Interesting. All right, Leo. I think I got a pretty good idea what's going on here. All right. So, for the nature of your problem, pulled the 4 of Wands here. And then the cards that came along with it are the 2 of Swords and the Star card. Now, with the 4 of Wands being the nature of your problem this week, I feel like we're trying to just bring something to completion. The 4 of Wands is obviously a card of completion, but it's a card of like rest, it's a card of knowledge, bringing conclusions, and just like really just that overall energy of just like, you're looking at when you complete something that you've, kind of put your blood, sweat, and tears into, and then just that being able to look at it and just to kind of like appreciate what you've done. And I feel like for us, for some of us this week, we're just looking to get to that point. We're trying to, I feel like we've been kind of pouring our energy into something, kind of pouring it in, and just really trying to, not necessarily that you just want to be done with it, but you just want to get it to, where I feel like we're just trying to get from one phase and then get ready to move on to the next evolution of, or, the next progression of this. Could be a business that you're trying to start, could be a project, maybe this is a relationship. But I do feel like that there's this sense of just like, you've been not necessarily burning hot, but you're trying to get to this place of where, okay, now I can relax a little bit, like there's not so much, I'm not getting like quite like an anxious type of feels, but I'm getting like maybe like a kind of tired, so almost kind of a type of energy here. You're just like, and I don't feel like you're worn out or anything, and take that as it resonates. But I'm getting we're trying to get to this place where it's like, you've been kind of going for a little bit, and we just want to get to, we're just looking for a win here. And I feel like with the 2 of Swords popping up here, that win is coming. Really with both of these here, but it's with the 2 of Swords. This is a card of, after getting used to that balance, after going through some hard times, getting to that win, going to, because this is the moon in Libra here. And when you think about the moon in Libra, the moon's constantly changing faces, so it's hard to kind of to have to balance that all. And listen, I understand that because the moon is my ruler. So that having to, with each day, or, man, sometimes each moment, that constant adjusting, trying to balance and try to do all these things. And maybe I'm getting a lot of juggling energy here. So maybe this is something too, while we're trying to get this to the end, it's like you got a lot of things in the air, and you just really want to get to this place of like, I just want to, I'm getting through, we're through the struggle part of this. When do we get to the other end of this? Soon, Leo. Very soon, because I do feel like, with the star card, this is a card of hope, and this could be a card too of unexpected help. So if you've been feeling like, you just sort of been going at this, been an army of one for a while, just like, man, when is this good break coming? You could have some help. Hey, you know what? And if you're not sure where that help is, I could be the start of that, because now we've talked about it, Leo. You laid it out here, you brought it to me, so it's like, hey, I'm here to let you know that there's relief coming from this. Because again, that's what the two of Swords is about, getting that relief from that anxiety, and to be honestly okay with that. To find peace in that fluctuation of life, that when things are good, when things are good, we're good. When things are challenging, we're still good. And that's to say too, even in this good spot, when we're good, we're good. We're not like overly and not neglecting this stuff here, if that makes sense. But overall, I'm getting with this star card here. I feel like that clarity is coming, because another couple things this could be. This is just that spiritual clarity, that insight. I really do feel like there is going to be that thing you've been looking to click and get this maybe either to the next chapter, or get it to where you're just kind of sitting back and appreciating this. I do feel like that is coming. And let's start over on this left-hand side here, because this is really going to this is sort of verifying what I'm talking about here, because you got the Six of Swords here. You have the, Six of Swords, Six of Discs, and the Prince of Wands. Now, with the Six of Swords here, I like that. This is one of those things, or a similar card to the Two of Swords, in the sense of like, you're finding that through after getting that relief from these hard times, from these struggles. But this could also be a card too of maybe if we're struggling to find that clarity, find that star, that hope in all of this and whatnot, this could be, and this is only going to resonate for some, but I am picking up one of the things the Six of Wands, or excuse me, the Six of Swords can represent is journey by land. So maybe some of you need to either, and this doesn't have to be a long journey. It could even just be the journey is just like getting your toes in the earth, kind of reconnecting with the land. Or it could be, just like kind of changing up your scenery a little bit, getting to something maybe in order to find that missing piece is just as simple as just like, getting into an unfamiliar environment, let's say, and just kind of allowing new things to kind of flood your world, because then that'll bring about the perspectives that you need. And I feel like that's going to get you to that success here. Because the six of this is just that. And you got a lot of moon energy too, which I dig, because it's the moon in Taurus. But I do feel like you're going to get to that success, once you've, because it really is, I really am feeling it's just a matter of perspective here. And it could be too, this may not necessarily be like a big win per se, and that's not me diminishing it, but I'm just saying, when the success comes, appreciate it in how, whatever form it comes in, even if it's just in the form, because remember I said this card could be of rest. So even if it's just like the win is that you can rest a little bit more, we can throw in a couple naps in during the day, Leo, I am absolutely calling that a win. And I feel like this guy is too, because this is one of your cards here. The Prince of Wands, I feel like with this, with him popping up, this is just a reminder of just like keeping that confidence, keeping that boldness, that strength, you know, that you have, Leo, and to just keep rising up for all of this, you know, because I get that, you know, when it feels like you're just so close, you know, it can feel, you know, it can be just a little annoying, a little daunting. It's just like I want to rest. I just want my thing to be done so I can, you know, maybe move on to the next thing, or, you know, however this is looking like for you, Leo. But I do feel like this is going to call upon you. You just got to keep rising. You know, we got to keep that boldness, keep that assertiveness, keep that sun energy. Because while I'm talking about the sun, let's go ahead and move over to this right-hand side here. Because over here, you got the 5 of Cups, you have the 10 of Wands, and then there's your ruler, that good old sun. I love the sun. So, with this 5 of Cups popping up, you know, I do feel like, you know, maybe for some, you know, we're with waiting for this win, you know, maybe we haven't been, it's either taking longer than we thought, you know, maybe it's not forming, you know, how I was talking about this success here. Maybe your success is flipping all over the place. It's just not wanting to stay in your grasp for that long. Maybe the success is fleeting. And you know what? That could be that, because I'd be a little disappointed in that too, Leo. Absolutely. But I do feel like it's one of those things with just all of this overall, just kind of hopeful energy is what I'm kind of feeling here, especially with the star being in the nature of your problem. I feel like you're so close, you know, whatever this is, you're so close to this. And I feel like don't let past disappointments, or even the fact that the big win hasn't come yet, don't let that get you down in the dumps. You know, don't let that get you in a defeatist mindset. Because the thing with the 5 of Cups, I feel like if we now let me preface with this: if your intuition is telling you, if this thing has, let's say this is something you've been kind of milking for a while, and it's like overall, if it's like lowering your vibration, it's not keeping you in a good place. Because it's one thing if you're doing something you love and you get curveballs along the way, as long as your vibration's still staying up, you know, you're giving that drive, you know, you're learning those lessons, I say have at it. But if it's getting to where you get up and you're like, man, I got to tackle this today, man, this isn't working, man, you know, all those mans, you know, 5 mans, men, whatever, if those are bringing you down, then absolutely, you know, it may even need necessarily even be cut it out, but maybe even just put it to the side, you know, allow for fresh perspectives to come in, because that can definitely lead to 10 of Wands. And 10 of Wands is like my hottest card of the Wands. And it's not to say that it's like, it's not a bad energy. It's just, it's really oppressed, repressed, just very, very, just constricted energy. You're just like, you have all this to give, but just like, it's like your energy has been locked, you know, and that can lead to just like, it's like, I use it as like, okay, imagine these 8 wands underneath are your burner, and then it's just like pushing you up against this stuff, and it's just like, yeah, be in it. I know this is a crazy analogy, but stay with me, because yeah, it's one of those things. It's just, I feel like it's when you're really hot and really frustrated, you can be in this place where you just want to blow stuff up. You're just like, you know what? Forget this. I'm abandoning this. This isn't worth it. I've had enough. And I just want you to stay. You know, I really feel like if this is something that you really like, I just say, you know, stay with it, because look at what's coming at the end of that. The sun. The sun is coming. The sun is shining. And you know what? This could also be too. This could just even be just a reminder that despite these energies here, your ruler's constantly getting up, shining so brilliantly, just like you do, Leo. Getting up and just like, I feel like this is, you know, this is normally the sun is like my card of just like, it's just that epic win. You know, this is happiness, fulfillment. This is Bay. I love the sun. But I do feel like, you know, whenever you need a reminder of just like when you're feeling these, like this hot energy, this disappointment, just when we're in the struggle. You even got another little hot card down here. But when we're in this moment here, just remember, no matter what state the world's in, the sun is still rising. Every day, you know, times might vary, but it's getting up and it's rising. And I feel like that's just what, when this popping up, it's just asking you to do just the same thing, Leo. Just get up and rise for yourself, and, you know, find that thing that is going to, you know, help you embody this sun energy. You know, don't and this is not me telling you what to do, but I do feel that if it's not supporting you in your happiness and whatnot, then I definitely feel like, you know, maybe put it aside, or just keep that. And if it is fulfilling you, keep that faith. And you know what? Let's just move over. Let's move over here, because hopefully that'll help me make more sense. Because I just, yeah, perspectives. Perspectives. Oh, you probably can't see that very well. Moving on. 4 of Cups. You got 3 of Cups and the 5 of Wands. Now, this is, the 4 of Cups is kind of what I'm trying to say in all of this here. In the sense that, like, if this is something that you love, you know, I really feel like you know, and again, take it as it resonates. But I feel like try not to get to where some hard times, you know, where 5 of Cups, 10 of Wands tarnishes these things. Because it could just be just some, despite how hot this card is, and despite the 5 of Cups, strengths waiting to be discovered. And I feel like don't let this sully your cups here. Because the 4 of Cups is like the seeds of decay in the fruits of pleasure. So you don't want it to get to where you love this thing so much, but the second thing's hard, or, you know, when hard things kind of pop at you, then you're like, oh, you know what? I don't like this anymore. This is bogus. I'm not with it. And I don't feel like that's the case here, because you got the 3 of Cups here. And the 3 of Cups is a card of like celebration, a card of abundance, of happiness, of fulfillment, and like that emotional fulfillment. I really do, I think. So, and I really do feel like if you just keep that hope, keep that strength, everything's going to be all right. Because I get where it's frustrating when you're not getting that win like you want to, when we're almost at that finish line, but it's like always something seems to quite get in the way. Absolutely, 5 of Wands happens, because this is Saturn and Leo here. And this is a card of strife, a card of quarreling, a card of very combative card. It just gets you in the state of just like, you know, this is no, not quite as crazy, but, you know, we're getting there. We're definitely heating up. But I do feel like it's one of those things that it's not going to be forever. Because let me tell you where your higher self is. Higher self is about to bring this all home for you, Leo. Because you got the 10 of disc here, you have the 8 of disc, and you have the Hermit. Now with both of these cards, and you know, some of you might have you might have some strong Virgo in your chart, so that's something that might want to check out. But with the 10 of disc, the 10 of disc is, wait, didn't we just get some? We were getting abundance over here, and now we just got a little bit more over here. You know, actually got a lot more, because 10 of disc is like mad. Well, we're making it rain at this point, Leo. Love the 10 of disc. You know, this is a card of success, a card of, and I really say, not to diminish, like, if you want to make it rain, I'm absolutely, I'm all for it. Chingaling it up. But this also be too, just whatever abundance looks like for you in this time. And I do feel like with both of these popping up, I really feel like with the 8 of disc is about to bring it home, because this is like saying, you know, the 8 of disc is like, kind of like reminds us of, we've been places before. We've been in tough times before. It's a card of wisdom, a card of prudence, handling your material affairs. Very, very, very wise card. And I do feel like this is, when this pops up, it's kind of like a reminder when you're stuck in these sort of like mindfulness energies here, where we have lessons to learn. 8 of disc pops up to let you know you've done it before. You might have done it 8 times before. And it's just like, you just got to do it one more time. Oh, Leo. Oh, hold on. Hold on, Lee. You understand in a second. Because, you know, I really feel like it's just remembering. Oh, okay, that got me off track for a second. But with the Eight of Disc, this is just remembering that you've done this all again. And if you've forgotten, it might just be some time just to take a minute, do some introspective work. Because the Hermit is about finding that divine inspiration, that illumination from within, circumspection, introspection, just all of that. Shuns all over the place. So once we've taken that time and find that light again, you know, find that drive, you know, realize that hope again, look what happens. Look what comes out of this. The sun. Because you got this little sun here, Leo. And that's all that this is reminding you here. If you not feel like your sun is shining like you should, or you feel like the sun is not shining like it should, it's going to. You know, it just needs a little, you know, let's switch back over, because I could get lost in that all day. That's literally my favorite combo in the deck. Oh, where am I pointing? That's literally my favorite combo in the deck here. Doing that, absolutely. Because it's perfect for you as well. I really, especially for you, just because the sun is your ruler, and that remembering that even at your lowest, when you're not quite feeling, you know, this at your best, you know, you still have all that sun to give. You know, that sun doesn't diminish. That brilliance never goes away. You know, it's just one of those things we just might have forgotten about it for a little bit. You know, we just got a little caught in between these, you know, while we were trying to get stronger here. But at the end of the day, I do feel like it's going to be worth it. You know, just stay strong in all this, Leo. And I really feel like, you know, make sure that if I had to do last thoughts, just if it's fulfilling you, and it's, you know, it makes you happy, it gets you excited, it and when good times are bad, camera problems, speech problems, you're still getting up and you're doing it every day, I say absolutely stick with it, because the universe is all gonna work out in the end. This stuff here is just the universe is like, okay, I heard you. This is the strength that you're going to need for this. And then when you get out of that, you're going to be brilliant, like you always are. And you'll be aware of that all the time. You know, just that you have this brilliance going on, Leo. So, yeah, I like that. Hopefully that resonated with you. Hopefully that made sense. You know, kind of a weird journey there, but yeah, overall I like that. So. If you haven't already, do all those YouTube things, subscribe, like, share. And for just a broader picture of you, you know, check your sun, check your, check your moon, and just, yeah, you know what, I just want you to just look at the sun. Go look at the sun, you know. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Whenever you need inspiration, if you're not quite sure about tackling it, go look at your ruler. Watch your ruler do it. If I didn't say, I feel like I might have said that. Whatever, Leo. We're checking our Saturn this week. I'm all over the place. It's still kind of early when I'm recording. But, and not that anything's going on with Saturn, but just sometimes I like to, and I know I've probably said this before, but when I'm talking about all these, you know, different parts of you to check, it could be just that missing piece, you know, checking out one of these random things, you know, discovering something more about yourself that can help you get closer to this completion here, to this rest here. Because that's really all I want for you. And you know who else wants that for you? Celestial News Weekly, because I made Celestial News Weekly a person, and it wants you to give the tools to deal with this on a daily basis. So that was a little obnoxious. I forgot I'm not doing hand signs anymore, so now it's just like energy. It's like, calm down, Justin. That's what happens when you got like 5 things of Leo in your chart. So keep that in mind. I don't have Leo in my Saturn, oddly enough, but everywhere else I do. Moving on. On the 16th, Venus is going to be entering Sagittarius. And this is kind of nice, because if we've been kind of, you know, with Venus being just leaving Scorpio, you know, everything was about being very deep. You know, we were about no superficial stuff. You know, we were just really getting into the nitty gritty of stuff. But now that Venus is entering into Sagittarius, you know, things are gonna feel a little bit lighter. You know, there's gonna be this impetus to kind of pursue the truth in what we in like to find like truth and a higher meaning in what we actually love now, because now there's that we've taken that time to like do some real deep soul searching. So now we can just like, and what perfect energy. I feel like what perfect energy for you to help you get through this, to kind of get to that finish line. That this could be, that drive that you need, this force coming in could just be that missing piece to get you there. So just keep that in mind with this energy coming up. Try to work with that as you, and see how that works for you. Now, also on the 16th too, which is again perfect stuff. I love that. I love the news. There's going to be a last quarter moon on the 16th, and this is like harvesting time. We're preparing for the next seeds to be planted for the next new moon coming up. And it's also a time for like tearing down old structures and preparing for new ones. So, it could be too, getting to that end game, or where we're finally closing the chapter, or just getting to the place where we're just kicking back and looking at what we've done. This could this is a good time for just, planting those seeds, really kind of assessing that. And maybe there's some new things that you could be applying to this, that I feel like you're getting a lot of stuff that are saying you just need a fresh perspective in this mix. We just need something, you need to get out of, I'm feeling this need of needing to get out of your environment or just kind of shake up your scenery for a little bit. And I think that's going to help get the clarity that you need. Let's keep it going. Mercury heard how much fun Venus was having in Sagittarius, that Mercury's going to be entering Sagittarius too. And this is a good time to like philosophize, for passionate debates, and just really just kind of keeping an open mind and just like, again, taking what resonates with you and leaving the rest with them. But it's really good time for appreciating different points of view, and I feel like really for like expanding our knowledge and whatever that looks like. It could be a good time for higher learning, if you want to go back to school, if that's on your if that's something that you've been entertaining. If you're not trying to, if we're trying to look for, maybe it's not something that you need necessarily like schooling for. I mean, there's so much information out there from YouTube. There's this app that I love using that someone showed me, Academia. They have like a bunch of little papers, little excerpts and things that if you like read it, if you're a big reader like I am, just something to check out. There's just so much knowledge out there, while this energy is going on, so you could take advantage. And I'm just trying to throw some fresh perspectives at you, Leo. I'm trying to bring this nature your problem home. Okay, let's get into some aspects, and then I'm gonna get your surprise card. Okay, 3 of them. We have good old Sun is going to be trine with Neptune. And with this happening, it's kind of like a light is shined on our imagination and our spirituality. And there's going to be like this sense of attunement with this sense of like psychic attunement that leads to like peaceful feeling towards others. So this is a good time too. Maybe this is something you just need, like you might need to work with someone else. They might have a skill that you're missing, just something, Leo. Because we're almost there. I feel like we're getting, with each one, we're getting a little bit closer to getting to where you need to be. But some good crystals to work with that would be either good old sunstone or celestite is a good one to work with that as well. Next, Venus is going to be conjunct Mercury is conjunct with Venus. And this is kind of nice. I kind of like this energy coming up, because I feel like your approach to life is going to be a little more debonair. You're going to be kind of like, I just picture everyone just kind of being very James Bond and very smooth in how they're delivering all of their stuff. But conversations may be geared around more kind of, it's going to be a little more sensual conversations, maybe talks of art and romance and finances. And it could be an ideal time for like negotiating, because I feel like the energy is a little more receptive. People feel a little more warm and just kind of more, just the hearts are a little more open. Our hearts and our minds are a little more open. So just could be a good time too to solve the nature of your problem. Okay, last thing. Crystals to work with this one are some good old quartz, or I have 2 friends to make some opal. would work well with this, and this might help you assist in this energy as well. Lastly, which I forgot to put gems with, which nature my problem, Mars is going to be squared with Jupiter. And with that happening, there's going to be this you might feel this overabundance of energy. It's very Knight of Wands, which Knight of Wands is like my card of, he's my double-edged sword. Big energy, fiery part of fire. When he's going to go out, he's going to go out and get it. He's going to blow it up in abundance all over the place. The problem with that is, if he's going to apply, and this is an nice thing about these readings, they're not gender specific, so you can totally be Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, when he's not mindful, can potentially lead to like burnout. You know, I feel like honestly, when you Knight of Wands into something that isn't where your energy's not supposed to be meant to, or something you're trying to force, that's the quickest way to get to a hanged man situation. And not to scare you, but it is something that just to be mindful of when we're using our energy to just honestly just be mindful, period. That's it. All right. See, I'm already channeling some of this this Mercury energy here going on here, because I could talk your head off all day, and what you've seen, I could totally do that. So appreciate you sticking with me, Leo. Let me get your surprise card, and then I will get you out of here. Lovely. The Moon card. I love it. Look at that. You got the sun and the moon here. I dig it. So I feel like with the moon popping up here, this is one of those things. It's, this is card like, what illusions are we getting trapped in? If this is, I feel like, what are we trying to get at, moon? I feel like with the moon popping up, you know what? I feel like this is really kind of talking about really your fresh. I think I'm feeling that fresh perspective coming in. I feel like this is that taking that journey into the unknown. And I don't really feel like it's necessarily like you starting like a completely different project from this, or maybe changing it entirely on your head if that doesn't make sense. But I really feel like it's that being open to new perspectives. The moon can be where, because the moon is which is so strange, because I don't quite see it as a terrifying card, but I know that there's a lot of, usually the moon is painted as this very fearful card. But I don't know. I really feel like it's really exciting, because the moon is so inviting. It wants you. It's mysterious. It can seem, like, oh my goodness, I don't want to deal with these jackals here, and like they're gonna eat me. No, they're not. They're gonna welcome you, because they want you to see this new opportunity. They want you to get to not just to see the moon, but to see the sun. Yes, all this celestial energy going on here, and I just feel like. Getting that fresh perspective, and taking that leap to get to that place, and to go in with it proud, to go in with that confidence, go with that Prince of Wands energy, go with your head up high, chin up, and embrace the unknown. And I do feel like that is going to help you get to where you're going to be. So yeah, that was a different way for the moon to kind of be sort of red, but hopefully that makes sense for you, Leo, because I want you're right there. I feel like you're right at the finish line. So just stick with it, and we're gonna get through this. So all right, I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks again for showing up. Stay safe out there. Let's keep raising that vibration, and I will catch you on the next one later.